Happy New Year, everyone. I hope 2020 is a better year than the dumpster fire that 2021 was for so many of us, including myself. I want to thank you all for the kind cards and wishes and everything as I'm recovering from the COVID quarantine that I found myself in soon after Christmas. Actually, symptoms were pretty mild. I never had a fever. My oxygen count was good. A little bit of fatigue, no pain. The one thing I know that people talk about COVID, that you might lose your sense of taste and therefore your sense of, you might lose your appetite. That was not the case for me. I'm going to have to get on the treadmill to work off the additional weight that I probably put on because of all the beautiful, wonderful, delicious food that people deliver to me, for which I am very grateful. New Year's resolutions and planning. Certainly, a lot of comedians make fun of this, but there's a very serious side to that. And I'd like to talk about one area that I'm thinking about in terms of 2022, a kind of a resolution to help a very unique organization, and that is the Sarnelli House. Our relationship with the Sarnelli House goes back a number of years with Michelle Manning, who as a practicing nurse was helping people down in Kensington, and she would often go to Visitation Parish for Mass. And there she ran into a remarkable young lady by the name of Kim Collins, who runs Sarnelli House. Kim originally is from Virginia and felt a call to the Lord, got online and saw Sarnelli House and came to Philadelphia and has been working there ever since. And I have not had the opportunity to go down and meet her or visit Sarnelli House, and I did a couple of weeks ago. It is a remarkable place. Their mission is basically to help people, primarily by feeding them. They cook and serve meals several times a week. They also have a place. They have two houses, and in one of the houses they have clothing where people can go out and pick clothing if they want. The place needs a lot of work, and that's what struck me, was not only the great work that they do and the incredible heart that Kim has. But it is a place not only that where things need to be done, but I feel a real call that we need to maybe step up to the next level in terms of our assistance at Sarnelli House. That comes in kind of like three levels: advanced level, that's going to need some professionals; kind of a middle level; and then kind of low-hanging fruit. In terms of the advanced levels, there are some structural issues down there having to do with roofing, walls, with plumbing, and we've inquired with some professionals about going down there, and we're looking at some contracts to maybe go down and help them in that regards. The first level is, quite frankly, it just needs it needs a facelift. It needs some fresh painting, and in that regards, I'm going to be talking in the next couple of weeks about getting some people to go down there with paint, with brushes, with rollers, with buckets, etc., etc. And I've asked a friend of mine who is a interior decorator and kind of an artist, graphic artist, to go down and give Kim a color palette and let her pick some colors and some patterns that would make the place a little more vibrant and a little more welcoming, not only for Kim and the volunteers, but for the people that come in. Aesthetics and beauty is certainly a part of our Catholic tradition, and I think we need to use that in that regard. The middle level is, before we could do that, the place just needs to be decluttered. There is all kind of stuff there. There is old furniture, for example, that's been there for who knows how long. There is clothing that is unsuitable to be able to give people. There are books. There's just a lot of stuff hanging around in the two houses that we need to clear out so that we can actually start doing some painting, and we've talked to Kim about getting her some new furniture, and we need, before we could put that in, there are some things that need to go out. Philadelphia has an interesting program where they pick up the trash at Kensington every day. It's Philadelphia's way of telling to do some outreach and help Kensington. And Kim said that they will pick up to 25 bags of trash every single day. So here's a great opportunity, I think, for parents and their children. We're not asking you to do anything significant here. We're asking you just to pick things up and put them in a bag. And if people are, I know Boy Scouts, I know Girl Scouts, I know people in schools are often looking for service hours. Well, here's a perfect opportunity. We would go down on a weekend when Sarnelli House is not feeding people, and just on a couple of weekends, just go and just give the place a bit of a facelift and give the place a bit of a cleanup. I'd like to be a little aggressive on this. I'd like to do this by the end of February. Bill Bellew has kind of taken a spearhead on leading and organizing this, and that's kind of a target date that he's set, just at least to get the ball rolling and get some momentum and get things started. So keep an eye out for what's going on our website and on Flocknote when we're going to maybe get some people together and consider maybe parents talking to your children and saying, you know what, we need to help. We need to have this preferential option for the poor. We need to go to people in the fringes. And actually, here's an opportunity to tell your children and actually have your children actually feel what that looks like. It's a great New Year's resolution to go out and help people. And in that regards, here's an opportunity to do that and reach out to for the greater glory of God and for God and for loving God's people. Wish you a happy New Year and blessings and a prosperous 2022. God bless.